let's begin with the delegation. Let's talk about the delegation. Some of you are artists, some of you are academicians.
My name is Mohammed Ahmed, but known with Shukri. So I'm also an entrepreneur. I've been outside for many years, so I am in a business field.
My name is Lemar Tilema. I'm a musician coming from Kenya, from a community called Ma, which is a Ma-speaking community. When I say Ma-speaking community, I'm talking about the Maasai, Samburu, Rendile, El Molo, El Chamus. We all speak the same language. But I'm particularly from the northern part of Kenya. Music is what I do.
I'm Osman Butu Wachu from Kenya, Tana River County. I'm a community leader and a businessman.
Let's discuss about the objective of your visit to Ethiopia and your observation regarding the peace and development in Ethiopia.
The objective of this trip is cultural integration of the regional countries. We started with Kenya because Kenya has a lot of same communities. Boranas live within the borders of Kenya. They are all the way to Moyale, Marsabit, up to Isiolo. The Ormas live in Tana River at the coast. So when we brought this, we wanted to add a cultural value to people to come and see how cultures can unite people. And through culture, we can be able to bring different communities to have harmony and peace and live together in peace. So this is the objective. The second objective is regional integration, because Kenya is not just a neighboring country to Ethiopia, because we have both communities living in Ethiopia side and we have other communities in Kenya side also, the same community, same culture, same language. So if we can be able to bring these communities together, we can also create value to our tourism sector, that we can be able now to not only bring this cultural but add value. People can come and visit Ethiopia and see. So they can create a synergy between Kenya has wildlife and the sea. Ethiopia has a very strong cultural values and ancient historical areas people can come and visit. So these are the things that we wanted to bring into light, that people should not be afraid to travel and discover as an African what we have, instead of traveling to other part of the world where we have not even visited our local historical places. So this is the first initiative, and hopefully we can be able to encourage more people to have that people-to-people relationship. It took us 7 days by road, coming all the way, engaging, meeting people. We had a very big truck with a big music system coming all the way from Nairobi. So on the way we're engaging different communities and coming all this way. The only thing we saw is positivity and brotherhood and love. That is the only thing we've seen. And this is how people should start looking at not only negativity, but we have a lot of positivity that we can be able to build brotherly, sisterly, neighboring countries. And for Ethiopia, I think Kenya is very special, that we are the second people to come by road with all this group after the Jomo Kenyatta, when he visited Haile Selassie here. He drove all the way from Kenya to to Ethiopia. So we also repeated the same thing, to visit, drive all these communities, through these communities, to come and participate in this festival.
Like he said, Kenya and Ethiopia and many other countries of Africa, we are all brothers from different mothers. And the borders should not be the barriers to stop us celebrating each other's. There's a saying in our language that we say, your immediate neighbor is your brother. Like he said, we are more than two countries. We're brothers because we have families on both sides. Me coming from a different community, when I visited Ethiopia first time, and this time around, I discovered so much similarities of Borana, Oromia, and other communities, so much similarity in terms of culture and their way of life. And what we've seen on the road, it's word cannot even express. So much love to people who maybe don't even know much about my culture, but I can tell that they have so much love to welcome me to their country and to try to share as much as possible. So, and this is how it should be. This is how it should be. Africa, we should be able to celebrate our victory as Africa, not only Ethiopia and Kenya, as the entire Africa. And that only can happen if we come together.
Nothing can move if people don't move. Goods don't move by itself. Trucks don't move by itself. You need to carry goods for people to move. So when we focus on regional integration, it's people first. People first. So then people can come, see opportunities, see what can be done, what can we share from different neighboring countries, and then we take what is possible for us to achieve for the local communities. So Ethiopia supplies a lot of food stuff before, especially to Kenya, like red kidney beans. Kenya consumes a lot of red kidney beans. It's like same like injera, it's a staple food. So you can imagine if this business continues, relations will continue, people will come. Somebody will marry from Ethiopia side, a Kenyan, Ethiopian side will marry from Kenyan side. As long as people can have a relation and build on that confidence and values and cultural values, then business will be more easier when people understand each other. So we believe this should be encouraged by both Kenyan and Ethiopian.
You have taken part in the recently celebrated Irreecha
Yes.
festival
Yes.
here in the capital and also Bishoftu.
Yes.
How was it? The essence of the celebration itself?
First of all, we thank also the government, the regional government, the federal government. You can manage human beings like this big number of people coming, and people can go back home without an incident. This should be encouraged for people to see. You know, people can come, have fun, enjoy, know each other, you know, and finally go back home. And nothing has happened. This should be encouraged, because we see why people visit. They go to Brazil for the carnival. People fly all over the world to go to Brazil to spend, you know, time and see the carnival. This is what should be. This Irreecha should not be just, you know, boxed into an Oromo event or just an Ethiopian event. This is an African event, because it is African culture at display, and people should come from all over the world, come enjoy the event. When people come, we also expect to get foreign exchange, because visitors will come. They will spend money. They will stay in the hotel. You know, this will have an input for the foreign currency also for the country. So it's a wonderful event. We were here in Addis, then we went to Bishoftu as well, and you can see the love and the peacefulness. People came, enjoyed, beautiful dress, wonderful people, they had fun, and everybody left home. If we let it to grow, it can grow to our imagination. And this will be one of the very positive image that our communities, or in Ethiopia in general, can sell to the world. That we can have an event of millions of people coming, enjoy, go back, and it's a wonderful event.
Celebration is a wonderful thing that brings everyone together in a good way, in a positive way. So I think it should happen not only here, it should happen in Tana River, it should happen in Lake Turkana, for our brothers and sisters to move back and explore and celebrate each other's diversity, way of life. So to me it was really, really wonderful. The security team, the government did the incredible job to make sure that, you know, people go in and celebrate and go back home safe. And I've learned so much myself. Through my music, I always pass positive message to our people. And a gathering like this is one way of passing a good message to our people.
Ile naongeza kwanza kabisa ni kushukuru Ethiopian.
He's thankful for all the efforts, Oromia Visit, Oromia Tourism. They have contributed to this trip, to this caravan. Secondly, he said he has learned two things. First, he is united with his family, that he's been thinking for so many years that one day he will come back and unite with his family. So this one. The second one is he has learned that when you have an event, because every society, people have different cultures and they have this kind of ceremonies and events, festivals that happens. But it happens in a smaller way. It's not like these big events that brings everybody together. So he has learned that if this, he can take this message also back home, that small communities also can make it to be an inclusive festival that many communities can join. So this is the second experience that he has learned.
You know that Ethiopia is experiencing several internal challenges due to the war in the north. And some Western countries and organizations, international organizations, have been trying to tarnish the true image of the country regarding the peace and the development. What is your observation since you have been here in Ethiopia for few days? Can you compare the reality while you hearing while you were in Kenya and seeing the situation in person in the country?
Yeah, this is not specific to Ethiopia. This international media news and all this has been to many African countries. When you have a small fire in Nairobi, for example, it's like the whole country is burning. If you have a small event happening, incidents, international media, they pick the incidents, like the whole country is burning. So for us, it's not relying too much what other people say. As a country, as an African country, we also have our priorities and what to achieve for our people. I think if we listen much of what people will say, then you will not take a step as a developing country. So Africa in general, Ethiopia is not an island. it lives with an international community. It has a responsibility. It's a big country. So it has its own roadmap how to go forward. I'm sure medias will never stop. Mostly African issues are very sensitive to them. It's like we are dying of hunger every corner, the news. But nobody shows the development we have.
What do you think the reason behind this negative attitude of these Western media regarding African issues?
I think some of the countries have not left their colonial mindset. We are in 21st, 22nd centuries now. Colonies have gone, and Africans are mapping their future by themselves without colonizers giving them a roadmap. So it is normal when we have robbed a lot of African resources, and now Africans are becoming owners of their resources. Of course, the beneficiaries will start making noise. This is normal. This is normal. And I just urge Africans to understand, not to take this noise too serious, and focus service delivery to their citizens. As long as you can build your citizens, healthcare, education, infrastructure, job creation for the youth, then the question you are answerable is to your citizens, not to the international media. Yeah, that's what I believe.
Ni kwamba hii ni wivu tu. Na tena katika wivu ndani ya Afrika ile mahali kuna wivu mwingi.
It's because of the resources. God-given resources. We have enough resources. So everybody is coming for this resource, and they don't want you to live in peace. That they can manipulate, create issues, so that you can't settle down, and the resources that God has given to benefit its citizens.
Ethiopia and Kenya have a long-standing relationship, and the two nations have also a great deal of potential that could be exploited for the benefit of the people of the two countries. Do you think this kind of visit will help to enhance such kind of relationship?
Ethiopia is a huge market. We're almost 120 million people. This attracts any investor. As long as you have the numbers, you know, any investor wants to come. I'm sure a lot of Kenyan companies will want to come to Ethiopia. They're very near for them. Logistically, it makes sense. It's only 1,600 kilometers from Nairobi to Addis. It's much easier to do business between our borders than thinking. We should start thinking, what can I buy from Kenya?
What are you going to tell your friend in Kenya about your visit to Ethiopia?
Already my friends are booking for the next holiday. They've already booked for the next holiday. So already they are aware. And when we made this caravan, the time was short. We had almost 107 tour operators who engaged with us to have this, to start coming through road by road to Ethiopia to see different places. So there's a lot to be done. We just started. This is a historic start for us, and the information is out there. Social media, people know, and we try to sell now. What more can we do? It should not be a one-off event. We don't want to make it a one-off event. We want to take Ethiopians to Kenya also for a different event, and so that people can be, interaction.
And
they
other
can
Africans to copy from
Yes.
this one and do it in their own country, so it can spread.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Really.
Thank you for having us.
Okay.
Thank you for having us.